Here we are. Sunday, November 20th, 2022. I'm Larissa. This is my video diary. Oh my gosh, what is going on with my hair today? I don't know. Just got out of bed. I'm not even out of bed yet. I just sat up. Good morning. Oh my gosh. So, did the cold-blooded lizard man and the giant narc win last night? Did they? I don't know. We went to bed. I was tired as hell. Giant narc. Oh, that giant narc. I'm so glad that his leg got all healed up. I wanted to kick that ref that kicked his leg. Oh, that was just... that was terrible. Giant narc, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. That cold-blooded lizard man. That cold-blooded lizard man. Lizard, 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 lizard. Whenever he's playing, that's what we say. Lizard, 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 lizard. We got all the little lizards in the yard. Little lizards. Oh no, we got alligator lizards. Alligator Horford lizards. Al Horford, he looked like an alligator lizard. He do. He look like an alligator lizard. He do. I got him in my yard. Them alligator lizards. They're funny. They scuttle about. Look like snakes with legs. And their faces are like that. And they got little holes for ears. Oh, they're cute. They're cute. They got little toofies, too. They do little pointy toofies. Oh. So last night, barbecued. It was cold, but we barbecued anyway. Brody got to play ball with his daddy yesterday, and he was mad because I said he could play ball while we were barbecuing, but it was too dark, and Omar wouldn't do it, but he played ball with him earlier, so. But Brody's like, you lied to me, Mama. I didn't lie. He got to play ball. Larissa doesn't lie. No. Larissa doesn't lie because Larissa used to get her ass beat as a kid. If she lied. And sometimes, even when she wasn't lying, she was told she was lying, she got smacked anyway. Pop in the mouth. Larissa doesn't lie. I don't lie. Takes too much energy to lie, and then you got to remember all your lies. No, just better and easier. Just tell truth. Just tell truth. Or keep your mouth shut. No room for lying. What if I cut my hairs off again? What if I did? I don't know. There's part of me that really just wants to see if I can get it really, really, really long. I've always wanted one big long braid down my back. That's what I always wanted. That's how I wanted to wear my hair. I had this friend in elementary school, Diane Sokowitz, at St. Catherine's. She had a little sister. Anyway, her dad was really, 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 really strict, right? They were real plain Jane. Her dad he was really, really strict and kind of mean. Anyway, she had really, really long hair. She always had it pulled back either in just a chignon or a long braid. And I always thought it was so pretty. I was like, oh, I said, Diane, you have the prettiest hair. Meanwhile, I was getting my first training bra. That was like, what was that, second grade? Miss Naso's class, yeah. Diane Sokowitz. I remember my birthday party was the first. She wasn't allowed to sleep over. That's right. She wasn't allowed to sleep over. She had to go home. She wasn't allowed to sleep over. I was having a sleepover, and she had to be picked up because her dad said she wasn't allowed to sleep over. We watched horror movies that night. What the hell was the name of that horror film that we rented? I remember they were all these teenagers staying in this haunted house, staying in this house, and the house was haunted. They were out in the woods hiking. Of course, they were out in the woods hiking. They needed to find some place to stay because they got lost, and they stayed in this house, right? And the house was haunted, and there was spirits in the house, and they possessed the kid. They possessed the kids, and the one girl was a cheerleader, and she was like wearing her cheerleading uniform out in the woods. I'm like, yeah, whatever. She pulled her lipstick out of her purse, and she was all possessed, and her face got all crazy, and blood coming out of her mouth. And she took her lipstick, and there was a boy she was making out with, and she was putting lipstick on his face. She was scary. Then she took the lipstick, and her boobs popped out of her sweater, and she pressed the lipstick through her nipple. I was like, and we were all like, ew! Second grade. That was that movie. It was terrible. At the end, all the bad kids got sucked up into like a pit of tar in the middle of the house. Craziness, huh? Yeah, that was funny. Watched that movie, and what was the other one? Poltergeist. Poltergeist. That was the first time I ever saw Poltergeist. A little girl at the TV, and everything flying around the room. Shit like that happens sometimes. In that restaurant that I worked at in Pontiac, salt and pepper shakers used to slide just in the back part. The back seating area was part of the second generation of building. So, yeah, it wasn't the oldest part, but it wasn't the front part. The front part was done in 38, 39, something like that. Mm-hmm. Had a lucite banister across the balcony in the building. Really, really cool. That thing was worth a ton of money. If that building, because like that much lucite, oh my god, it was crazy. It was really cool. It was really, really, really cool. But yeah, but the salt and pepper shakers used to slide down the table and stop right at the edge before they'd fall off. They didn't fall off at night when I was bussing tables. So that kind of stuff happens. Stuff flies around. Stuff's moved around in this house too. There was one person that was here, cleaning person, the one time, and she freaked out because one of my dining room chairs flew at her. I wasn't in the room. She came out. She was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Doors open and close here too." So yeah, it shit happens. Poltergeist and a ghost are two different things, though. A poltergeist is a fractured ghost. It's a fractured soul, right? That's what a poltergeist is. Poltergeist is a fractured soul, right? So it can be in multiple places at a time, multiple manifestations. That's more like it. It's gonna be multiple manifestations at a time. That's a poltergeist. And poltergeists are generally frenetic energy that will make things swing and blow around, turn things on and off, kind of thing. A ghost, a haunting, usually you get to see the entity at some point, right? And it's usually a regular kind of thing where it's the same thing over and over again. A poltergeist can be different stuff all the time. It's a different thing. It's a different thing. Yep. And poltergeists are generally generated out of like some sort of severe trauma thing, right? somebody who was tortured in some way. That's usually poltergeist comes out of some sort of torture. And a poltergeist can fracture off of a living person, right? It can be a piece of energy that fractures off of a being incarnate. So it's a little different. Ghost is always just a spirit that's not in body. Poltergeist can be disembodied, somebody's disembodied and fractured, or energy that's fractured off of a living being. We watched The Omen that night too. I think so. We watched yeah, that's what it was. It was that's what I wanted. I wanted I wanted a scary movie night, and so that's what we watched. We had Poltergeist, The Omen, and what was the other? And I can't remember what the other one was called. I just remember being totally grossed out by that lipstick scene. She bit his tongue out of his mouth. They were French kissing. Her tongue got all big and long. She bit his tongue out of his mouth and then put the lipstick on his face and then shoved the lipstick through her nipple. It's crazy. Diane Sokowitz's dad wasn't so stupid, huh? No, it didn't harm us. Didn't harm us. Didn't harm me. I don't know. Scary movies. I've always liked horror films. Yeah. It takes a lot to scare me. I find most of them really funny because, I've had experience with ghosts. House where I was born a little girl. When I was a real little girl, the house in Pitcairn, real old house. And when my parents bought it, they found stuff. There was stuff in it. There was a gun in the attic, an old gun wrapped and stuffed in the rafters. It's like, what the hell was that used for? Like there was stuff in the house, and I remember there was a compartment in one of the stairs, a hidden compartment in one of the stairs, and yeah, that house was really neat. But there were ghosts in that house. There were miners in that house. I remember. It was a whistle stop town, and so there was a train stop there. It was a change station, right, where they would change engines, right, or change cabooses, engines or cabooses, right. A transfer station, that's what that's called. It was a transfer station. Anyway, so a lot of the miners, like that had gone into work, living in the whistle stop town. There was a trumpet player or a trombone player that was from Pitcairn. What the hell was his name? A jazz musician. Really small place, tiny little place, tiny little place, real cute, real cute. Last time I had driven through there, there had been a lot of they had done the facade of the downtown. It was real cute, historic whistle stop town. It was a crazy little place. But yeah, no, there were miners in that house. Yeah, there was a group of miners. It was like 5, 6 miners, and I used to see them when I was a little girl. I used to see them at night. They used to walk through my bedroom. You had to go through my bedroom to get into my parents' bedroom because it was that kind of, it was old. It was an old house. It was a Victorian kind of thing. You had to walk through my bedroom to get into my parents' bedroom, and the miners would walk back and forth through the rooms. Yeah. I had red carpeting. My dad put in red carpeting, and my walls were painted pink, and I had a holly hobby bedspread. And I still have the same furniture in my bedroom that I did then. I think maybe I need some new bedroom furniture, huh? Seriously. That dresser. Mm-hmm. And that chest. I've had those since I was a little girl. Since I was a little girl. Yeah, the miners had headlamps and everything. And the one miner had one of the hats with the cage on it, with the bird on his head, with the canary. Mm-hmm. He used to traipse back and forth in the room. Ghost stories. I don't tell any fake ghost stories. I don't have to. I have real ones. I've seen things in different places, and it's not like you can't say, oh, it's schizophrenia, because it's not the same thing all the time. No. It's always site specific, and it's not everywhere. It's not everywhere, but it's a lot of places. There's energy everywhere because people have died everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've never wanted to live near a hospital. I don't like staying in hotels near hospitals. It's terrible because I can feel the coming and going. Yeah. When Omar's dad was in hospice, like I knew when people were leaving body. There was one orderly that was working there. I was talking because I was sitting out in the hallway the one day, and because I could feel it. I have a physical sensation, right? And he says, are you okay? What's the matter? Can I get you anything? I said, no. I said somebody's leaving right now. And he's like, yeah, the room right across from me. He's like, They just passed. I said, I know. I can feel it. And he was like, oh. I said, yesterday you had 10 people go. He's like, yeah, it was a busy day. Like, oh my God. Yeah, I can feel it. So I don't like spending a lot of time in hospitals, near hospitals. It's hard. Um, it's hard if I'm not given the kind, if I don't have the kind of environment that I need, right? The hospice wasn't so bad because I could feel it, but everybody there knew, that was what was going on there. It's hospice. Everything was imminent, right? Nursing homes are the same way. There's kind of an imminence there, right? You can feel them go when they're getting ready to go. I always know. I always know. I like the natural world. I do. I like the natural world. Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired. And when I knew I'd have to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. You're the key to my peace of mind. Right? Miss Franklin. Miss Franklin, she died of pancreatic cancer, like my father-in-law did. It's a terrible cancer. I mean, it's not like there's ever a great cancer, but that one's a really bad one. It moves so fast and it sucks you dry. It really does. My father-in-law's stomach bloated up real big and his arms and legs and everything withered to nothing. His face and his neck withered down. And the pancreas grew and grew and grew and grew. He had pancreatic and liver cancer. It spread to the liver. Metastasized. My pappy had chronic cancer. He had chronic bladder cancer. It wasn't the bladder cancer that killed him, though. No, he used to have cancer removed from his bladder like every 6 months. It was terrible. Poor guy. They had to go in through his penis every single time into his bladder, and they removed the polyps. They were cancerous. He had cancer for years. For years, like 8, 10 years. Imagine. I can't. Jeez, my urethra. Ooh, yuck. Awful. When my soul was in the lost and found, you came along to claim it. I didn't know just what was wrong with me till your kiss helped me name it. 'Cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Ooh, baby, what you done to me? Make me feel so good inside. And I just wanna be close to you. You make me feel so alive. Miss Aretha Franklin. Miss Aretha. People were so rude to her in Detroit. Like, everybody loved her, of course, because she was Aretha Franklin. But, people are crazy. They're rude. They do weird fucking things. Like, I know, like, people I knew who worked at the restaurant where she liked to go eat. Like, service staff was instructed on how to interact with her. And she said that, like, people who were other patrons at the restaurant there when she was there were just like obnoxious, totally obnoxious. And she said that, inevitably Miss Franklin would get loud and angry. I would too. But staff was more than tolerant because they knew that she was being treated like shit, and so she said that, she would like order one of everything on the menu. Right. Oh, people are like that. You get to the point where you're just like, fine, I'm gonna be fucking ridiculous, right? She was notorious there for a while for having stories. There were stories all over Detroit. Now I don't know which neighborhood she lived in. I've never been that kind of person. It's like, oh, let's go stalk somebody. No, I'm not a stalker. But there were stories. Because she lived in one of the mansions in downtown Detroit, one of the big ones. Um, I don't know if it's close to Grosse Pointe or the neighborhoods that were over, because it wasn't Grosse Pointe wasn't the only place with isn't the only place with big houses. There were big, beautiful mansions in some other parts of Detroit as well, because Detroit used to be very, very affluent, and she lived down there, and there were stories about her like having washing machines and other big appliances out in her front yard. Like, I don't know if it was true or not. I don't know, but those stories were always flying around Detroit. She was reclusive. She was known to be reclusive in the Detroit area. People are fucking weird. Because people are fucking weird. They treat you weird. I don't know. I've seen a number of people who, like, I recognize places. Like, one time in Carmel, sat right behind Joe Pesci and it's just like, no, I'm not going to go and be like, oh, Mr. Pesci. Like, the dude he was sitting there with some friends talking about his dog. I'm like, yeah, you're just having your brunch, just like I'm having my brunch. Why, I don't know you. You don't know me. Why should I come over? Like, just because I recognize you from a movie. It was funny. Like there's other people I saw up in Sebastopol all the time. Not all the time, but a number of times. Whatever. I think all people should be able to go out and have dinner someplace, right? Without being mobbed. Hey, Brody. Brody. Hey, Brody. 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 When'd you sneak in here? Hey. 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 Brody, are you a Timberwolves fan? Brody, are you a Timberwolves fan? He is. He likes the Wolves. Because Brody thinks he's a wolf. Are you a wolf? Are you a wolf, buddy? With Mr. Rudy Gobert. Oh, the brotherhood of the wolf. Mon frère. Rudy Gobert. He's a Timberwolf. With D'Lo. D'Lo, he looking like Shirley Temple. Whenever I see him in his curls, his curly curls, he looked like Shirley Temple. I think, on a good ship, lollipop, it's a sweet trip to the candy shop where bonbons sway on the shores of Peppermint Bay. Right? Oh my goodness, Shirley Temple. That poor woman, Miss Shirley Temple Black. So, D-Lo will take you to the candy shop. He'll let you lick the lollipop. Come on, girl, don't you stop. Oh, the wolves. Brody's a wolf fan. Brody. He said, qu'est-ce que c'est que Allez-vous. Anyway. Maybe do some yoga this morning. I think so. I think I'm gonna get up. I swept the floors yesterday, so all I gotta do is mop the floor down there and do some yoga. What am I gonna make for dinner today? I'm gonna have early dinner because there's a basketball game at like 4:00, right? So all this talk, are they really gonna trade somebody? Are they gonna trade Clay? They gonna trade Clay? They gonna trade Draymond? Oh my god. I don't want to see. I don't want to see either of them go, but I also don't want anybody to be fucking miserable, right? I think that there's just been a lot of drama. I think there's a lot of drama. I do. I think there's been a lot of drama, and that's really, really hard to navigate. But I think you can just rise above the drama, tell the media to shut the fuck up, and all you just do you. Just do you, boo. Do you. And remember that you're a team. Remember that you're a team. And Larissa would give any one of y'all a hug any fucking time. Any fucking time. I'd give any one of y'all a hug. Even if you're all sweaty and stinky, I'd give you a hug. Mm-hmm. But who cares? Because Larissa's just a big, fat, stupid bitch. Oh, barbecued last night. Did a foil pocket with salmon fillets and broccoli rabe and red onion and garlic and some herbs and spices and pepper paste, right? And butter or ghee. I used ghee. Put that in foils. And we had spaghetti squash with ghee and garlic and onion powder and salt. And you wrap that up in foil, right? You scrape out the spaghetti. I love spaghetti squash. It's good. And then I cored 2 apples and stuffed them with peanut butter. Wrap those up. Put those on the barbecue as dessert. And then some of the bread that I had baked the last time I baked loaves. I made some garlic bread and put it in foil and put that on there to heat up. Omar ate most of it. There's some leftovers down there though too. But tonight I have when I went grocery shopping, I got a nice big bunch of basil and I came home and made a big batch of pesto and put it in the freezer because that's what I do if I'm not going to have the pesto right away. Because basil gets brown real quick, right? Once it's been cut. Once you get it home from the grocery store, I don't know why. Once you get it home, it turns all brown. So I made pesto and put it in the freezer. So I have a big old batch of pesto down there. And I don't know if I'm going to use shrimps or if I'm going to use the canned clams, but we'll do spaghetti, pesto spaghetti with either shrimps or clams. I'll ask Omar what he wants. Maybe he'll want both. The clams would be easier because they're already cooked. I have to cook the shrimps though. All right. I gotta thaw that pesto. I gotta take that out of the freezer. So that's what we're having tonight. Seafood pesto paschettis. Ooh, baby, what you done to me? You make me feel so good inside. And I just wanna be close to you. You make me feel so alive. You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. Rest in peace, Mr. Aretha Franklin. You really were amazing. Really, really, truly. Nothing but love and respect for Miss Aretha Franklin. Nothing but love and respect.